Hello, everyone. Make sure audio is working. It is. Welcome. All right. This is Task 6, the results for Task 6 of the OOT Master Series. And for those of you who have not been here before to an OMS stream, I'll give you a little explanation for what it is. It is a series of 10 challenges that I put together for OOT speedrunners to complete. Each challenge lasts 2 weeks. We started on January 1st of this year, and players will have those 2 weeks to come up with their best run for the presented challenge, submit to a leaderboard, and get points depending on how well they did compared to everybody else in that task. And those points go towards an overall leaderboard, which at the end of the 10 challenge season will be used to determine who is the OOT master and also who is in the top 5, which will receive cash prizes, which is pretty cool. So you can find out more at OOTmasterseries.com. Link's right below me. And then when the thing swipes to the next thing, you'll see another link, a bit.ly link for a GoFundMe page where we have open donations for the prize pool at the end. So if you're interested in that, that will be open until the whole thing ends in May. Do we get to shame anyone doing Baby 2000? We'll see. We'll see. So Task 6 was called Interior Recordator, and it was all about the board of records in Link's house, which I was surprised to learn many people had no idea what that was. But it is just a piece of paper hanging up on Link's wall that you can read, and it tracks how many gold Skulltulas you've gotten, what is the biggest size of fish you've ever caught, your marathon time against the Running Man, and your Epona obstacle course time, and also your score in Gerudo Archery. It's a interesting kind of random little collection of things because of course there's other mini games that you can play, but this is what the task was about, and the goal was to reach certain thresholds in each of those mini games, and I chose them so that they were all difficult but not necessarily too difficult. The one that stood out the most was 2000 in Gerudo Archery, and I think a lot of people were kind of terrified of that, but we will see as we go on that there was potentially a way around it. So let me go ahead and set the timer to start at -3, and then we will introduce who is on the call with me, co-commentating. All right, so 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So the top 4 this week were Count, RTA, Tub, and ZFG, which is a very familiar top 4, exactly the same as last week. But I only have Count and ZFG with me on comms for top 4, and I also am doing something new this time, where we bring in some people who weren't necessarily top 4 to co-commentate, and we've got Dominator and Link on the call with me. Welcome, everybody.
Yo.
Hello.
Hey.
All right, and if we need any different levels, please let me know. Otherwise, I think we're all right. So I'm going to start a prediction. Those of you in chat who want to know who is the winner, you can guess, wager some channel points, and you have the next 2 minutes to do so. All right. What do you guys think of Task 6?
I love the concept, but running it was painful sometimes.
Yeah.
I think the concept is really creative, making it about the board in Link's house. And I think the route turned out to be pretty unique as well, so I like that aspect of it. But yeah, some of the subject matter is kind of rough.
Yeah,
it was pretty fun routing the Skulltulas and stuff. Yeah.
Did everybody hear Link 11 speaking right now? Because I didn't see it show up in my OBS. I might have to do a little bit of tech support live on stream. You did not. Okay. Uh-oh. It's time for tech support. Alright, say one more thing for me.
Hello, test.
Oh? I think one more time?
Testing.
I
Hello?
think we're good. Welcome. All right.
Nice.
Dominator, can you say something too? Just want to make sure it's working.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Perfect. I think we are good. All right. So we're settling in for a little bit of a long one this time. I won't say anything about the final time, but I will say it was... Yeah, I turned Dominator down. Thank you. It was the longest task so far. The first place time is the longest first place time that we have had. I saw a prediction in chat that this is the first time where nobody's going to beat my benchmark. We'll see. So we got a bunch of people getting some beans. What's the beans for?
I think most people were using the beans for Lake Hylia to get to fishing as adult easily.
Hmm.
Yeah, so one thing that Count did that people might have noticed was he didn't get the sword, but he actually got a bunch of sticks. And like getting those sticks is actually like slower than just getting the sword, but there's a specific reason that he didn't want to equip the sword that you might see later.
I also saw Tob was doing an extended rupee route, getting... Is that 2 or 3 sticks with plus nuts?
Yeah. Was that like 45 rupees or something? Yeah, so there is definitely a reason why players may not want to equip a sword in this run. We'll call it out later. So you might notice that Kakariko is in pure daytime mode in my benchmark, and I am doing a Child 1 route that is extremely tight on daytime because this is a Lotad and I can do that sort of thing. So I made sure to get to Kakariko as fast as humanly possible, and we'll see how it goes.
I wish I could do tight time of day stuff. I tried to be really ambitious with my time of day routing and turned out to be a bit too much, and I had to baby up my route a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how the top runs handle that, because I know for me, being a less good runner, like, that was something I was really worried about, so I just got Sun Song to just remove that worry, but
It's a really
I'm
good...
interested to see how top level handles it.
Sunsong is a really good thing to get if you're not super sure about the time of day, because anytime that you... Like, it makes Skulltula routing so much easier. Anytime you arrive at a place with some Skulltulas, you're just like, oh, it's nighttime now. So, you know, getting fishing and the marathon and the horse race and archery, you know, not too hard to route those things, which is why I made 40 gold Skulltulas the last requirement, because I figured 30 was a little bit too easy. A lot of people are used to a 30 skull goal in bingo, for example, but 40 starts to get tricky. Like, when you have to pick 40 Skulltulas, you really need to think about which ones are the best ones, and especially, like, figuring out which ones synergize well with the other sub-goals. So 40 skulls is like the main driver of the routing in this run, for sure. And that's a big reason why we're talking about time of day and stuff.
Yeah, I thought 40 was a really good balance.
Ooh, ZFG having a fun time with this guy.
Love it.
Oh, I didn't know you could run by them while they're spinning like that. That's cool. In Shadow Temple, there's this really fun spot in the zigzag hallway right before the big cavernous room with the guillotines, where if you get hit by one of the Skulltulas that comes down from the ceiling in a certain way, he'll, like, squish you between himself and, like, a little corner between the wall and a wooden post on the wall, and so you just get damage boosted forever if you get soft locked.
Wonderful.
I remember learning that the hard way in a glitchless run of mine, like, 9 years ago. All right, so we got a bunch of Skulltulas. Count is picking up some shields before he leaves. Maybe just one shield? We'll find out. Did the prediction go through? Let's see. Yes. Okay. So, the votes are 36% Count, 1% RTA, 5% Tob, and 58% ZFG. Okay, people are leaning pretty heavily on the two that have won before. See how that turns out.
Pretty safe bets.
No one going for broke. 1% of people are going for broke.
So I think here's where some more route diversion starts, because I know some people went for the bottom of the well skulls here, and some didn't.
Mm-hmm. The bottom
Yeah,
well has, what, 3 skulls total?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for these last 2 skulls, we timed them against the Lon Ranch Skulltulas, and it ended up being like around 20 seconds slower. But like it makes the time of day a lot more lenient if you don't go for the Lon Ranch skulls.
That makes sense. And that's a good example of like how much routing work these players are doing for these things, because like timing, you know, so many different possible Skulltula options against each other just to find out which one saves the most time. It's really cool. And you know, sometimes you make the decision based on what's fastest, sometimes you make the decision based on what's most viable. Link is 20% too loud, you got it. Alright. Should be good. So in my route, I came back to Kakariko to do these skulls as fast as possible, and then I realized that if I do everything in Hyrule Field perfectly, I can make it back to... sorry, I say Kakariko? I meant Kokiri Forest. But I can make it back to Kakariko before morning, all in the same day cycle, and get the night skulls then. That way I didn't have to, like, wait outside Kakariko for nighttime after the bottle or whatever.
Yeah, that's nice.
Interested in the fishing and archery suffering. Yeah, I was debating pretty heavily on whether or not to include the adult fishing, but in the end I decided that, you know, it's one thing in the whole season, we could do it. And turned out okay, I think. How many skulls are in dungeons versus outside dungeons? That's a good question. I don't know. ZFG, Mr. Hundo Master.
I
You know?
do. It's 44 in dungeons.
Wow.
66 out, or 56 outside. Yeah.
Just had that number right at the forefront of your mind. Why did you have that number so easily? When did you need that for?
Actually, the reason I know is Master Quest Dungeon Dice Monsters.
Oh, nice.
I have a guide next to me. I can confirm that number as well.
So we got some RBA happening for some extra chews on CFG and Tob's screen right now. Count, I don't think we'll be able to take advantage of that because of the blank B button.
Yeah, that was a big decider for me for getting Sword, because RBA, in my mind, if RBA choose early on as child is not that far out of the way, especially when I'm going to graveyard anyway, I feel like I just need to RBA choose. Like, more choose equals good, always.
Unless your goal is to have less choose. Which it might.
I guess.
You never know.
Could sometimes, sure.
And he's gonna throw a wrench into your plans.
Oh no. Choose banned in task 8.
I'm excited for the last 3 tasks. They are involved. That's all I'll say.
I like the more involved tasks.
That was a bit of a weird fail on counts on screen.
What happened? I missed it.
He was like sliding while grabbing the bush. I'm not
Oh, weird.
sure exactly what happened.
Teleport super slide is a lost art. Doesn't happen often enough anymore.
Yeah, I miss it.
We got RTA doing Child Deku, which is a cool decision. And Lan Lan Ranch here. How many... do you just get the 2 that are, like, at ground level?
Yeah, just the 2 ground level. I was considering cutting these. I almost thought they might be too long, but they turned out to be, like, barely under my threshold of what was a fast skull for my route.
Mm.
And they barely fit in with my time of day routing.
Do we have some Gim going on from RTA?
Oh yeah, looks like it. Oh wait, he got bottle from Kek, right? Yeah.
Yeah, is this a light arrow Gim? I think he failed it, so he's trying again now.
Oh. I would assume light arrow to like be able to play the archery game later.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And then
Although that makes me wonder why not. What's bad about ice arrows, considering you're already in Fortress?
I guess maybe he thought that this was fast because he's already here for the Skulltulas?
Yeah, I guess optimally I could see it like still being faster than GTG.
Yeah.
Even
Game is
if you're
just such
passing by
a
it.
it's just such a painful trick that like
Yeah.
unless it's so much faster that it's tough to commit.
Oh, it looks like Tob is actually doing more Lon skulls.
This is pretty impressive to commit to the Lon skulls here. Hovering onto the fence. Is there a good way to get the one on the house too?
I think so.
I mean, there's a way.
Define good.
but- yeah, I don't know if I would call it good. These Lon skulls are kind of notorious in bingo for being like a goal that no one ever wants to pick.
Yeah.
Because of these hovers.
It feels like if you have enough choose, it's not that big of a deal, but when you're trying to not waste a million, then it kind of sucks.
Yeah, makes sense. There's a 32-minute video tutorial by Neko for the 4 Lon Ranch Skulls goal. Amazing. Got a whole feature film devoted to Lon Ranch Skulls. So I skipped Child Choose, so I get to do these nice, beautiful backwalks that take an hour. I'm not sure.
Taking the scenic route.
Yeah, I don't remember why I decided to skip those, but it turned out not too bad, I think.
I'm used to those long back walks.
So am I from glitchless runs. It's right. I feel right at home. There's also an interesting vote going on. Uh-oh. Count just lost his bugs. They went straight
Oh
into the...
no.
Oh no.
It's the
That
worst.
actually happened in 2 different attempts in that
Oh,
same
God.
hole.
Luckily, Lost Woods not the worst place to lose your bugs, but...
Yeah.
I had that happen a lot while practicing for the bottle dupe task, but thankfully never had it in an actual run for that one.
Oh no! You have to get lost because the stick ISG doesn't.
Oh
doesn't
no.
do it.
Yeah. I had to improvise this on the fly and just think to like reset it to default damage.
Whoever has the deep voice is loud. Okay, I think that was not.
Is that me?
Yeah, I'll turn you down a little bit. Should be good now.
So my route here in Lake Hylia, I have this really tight time of day thing in Lake Hylia where I have to kill the skull on the lab house and then use a Tektite to super swim over to the Skulltula, barely make it before daytime,
Oh,
and
it's
then
close.
super swim. Yeah, and then super swim back to the lab house. It's if I do everything optimally, I have a decent amount of leeway, but if I like mess one thing up, then it starts to get pretty close, and then I can't side hop here in super swim because side hopping's the hardest trick in the game.
Oh, does the side hop cause the rightward movement in the water after you backflip? Or like?
No, it's just the side. It's just the backflip that causes the rightward movement. What I was trying to do is side hop and drop the chew midair. That
Yeah,
way
yeah.
it runs around the pillar. But I kept dropping the chew without side hopping.
Makes sense. We got a question for the runners. Do you guys feel a lot of pressure when doing these tasks? Like, is it as exciting as speedrunning?
I will say, being time limited is there's definitely much more pressure on it than regular speedrunning, where it's just you just do it until you get a good run. But in this, you only have a limited time to get a good run. So yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the biggest aspect.
And it's interesting because, like, you know, in like a live race, I feel a lot of pressure because I only get one shot, right? And like, you know, maybe if I had made different decisions, like I don't have time to think about it very much, and so that stresses me out a lot. But in this, it's like, you know, you have these 2 weeks, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, well that's time enough to be perfect if I really try my hardest, and that introduces like a completely different sort of stress.
Yeah, and then also something else is that you like have a good amount of time to like work on your route and practice and stuff. But if you like do your route, do your practice, start doing runs, and then realize like your route is too tight, or you might want to like reroute midway through, but then you're already tight on time because it's already getting close to the deadline. And it's like, do you want to reroute or do you want to just stick with what you know already? You have to make that decision too.
Yeah. Strangely, you and I ended up in like perfect sync here, ZFG. We like took the owl
nice.
out of Lake Hylia at the same time, even though our child routes were super different. We ended up doing all the
Yeah.
same shit.
Do you know how many Skulltulas you got in your child route?
I don't remember. Let me check. I have like a doc that I use, like all my notes. I think it was 19.
Okay, I think I got 20 or 21.
And me skipping choose definitely worked against me there a little bit. If RTA leaving Lake Hylia through the Hyrule Field exit, not the Owl, which is interesting.
Yeah, I remember timing this for like task 1 or 2 or something. It's actually like surprisingly close.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I remember like in some case it's faster, but I forget the exact case, but it might actually be good in RTA's case, yeah.
Count using the pot to kill the Skulltula
Yeah.
is pretty funny.
The rando strat.
It's so interesting that they actually decided to make throwing pots do damage in this game.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not something that I would expect to do damage. Because like throwing rocks doesn't, right?
Yeah, it always surprised me that rocks don't, but pots do.
It makes no sense at all.
I choose the number of 40 skulls arbitrarily. It's not a special number, like there's no, hidden significance to it, except that I just felt that it offered the best balance for routing purposes for this task, while also being a round number.
Some cool tech that Count just did, like he angled the stick upward when he was killing the Skulltula, and like I think it's a little precise, but doing that lets him kill the skull without breaking the stick.
It
is
didn't
really
feel
cool.
too precise when I was doing it.
What's the actual requirement for that? It's like it has to hit on the way back, like on the end frame of the stab or something?
I think so, or like the base hitbox, I think.
Hmm. Is it the same as the giant knife thing? Probably. Wouldn't be surprised if that's the same. So, going into adult, we're going to try to get a fish of size 60, right? Which is the cutoff for the gold scale. The funny thing is, there's like a less than 1% chance. Like, the fish are not set sizes in the fishing pond, right? So, each fish has like a range of values that it can be in. And so, there's actually the biggest fish in the child pond has a very, very small chance, less than 1%, to be big enough for this. And child fishing is way better than adult fishing. Like, the fish are way more likely to bite. So this was something that was discussed in the spoilers channel for Task 6, and I pleaded with people to please not do that, because you're gonna just hate yourself after that grind, just trying to do runs until you finally get the child fish. Probably more painful than just dealing with adult fishing.
I assume no one, including people outside the top 4, went for it.
Yeah, nobody went for that. Thank goodness.
Are there any other differences with child fishing? Like, are they easier to reel in or anything, or is it still just as painful if you don't get the instant catch?
Yeah, they definitely are easier to reel in. I don't know the exact the exact mechanic behind it, but I think they're just less likely to well, one, they're
I
not as strong, right? Like, they don't pull as hard.
I
And
think they're only easier to reel in because they're smaller, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
okay, is the force that they pull with like proportional to their size?
I think so, but
Okay.
don't quote me 100% on that.
We gotta get Smoggy in here, the glitchless 100% runner. You would know. So in this task, there was, there's the points available for, just placing on the leaderboard, as always. But then there was a secondary way to score points in this task, which I hadn't done before. I issued a challenge where the person who has the fastest marathon running man time at the end can get 20 extra points, and then the same for the opponent obstacle course race, and then the same for Gerudo archery. But only if you do it legit, which is something that
Yeah, you gotta do
maybe
it
you don't
legit,
understand.
guys.
We'll see. We'll see who are the winners, and if anybody ties on those things, then they'll split those 20 points. No point for biggest fish, yeah, just points for like best RNG roll. So there are
I'm
3 ways
actually-
to score points here. Beating the
I'm actually-
benchmark, Go ahead, Safety, yeah.
I'm slightly mad about the marathon time thing because so my original idea was I kind of wanted to focus in on the marathon time bonus points because I actually have done a lot of trying to get fastest marathon time before, and I know with bombs I could get like a 48 or 47 if it was like super perfect, but in my route I ended up deciding that bombs and DC overall was just too slow to be worth it. So I wanted to get bombs for the faster marathon time, but I knew for the overall route it wasn't worth it. So I hope my marathon time is still good enough, even with only shoes.
Is it are bombs faster just because they explode sooner than shoes?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean
Do you think you can
theoretically
do
you
better
could
with
do
double chews? Yeah.
theoretically you could do some perfect double chew thing, yeah, but unrealistic, I think.
I wonder what like the true optimal RTA Running Man time is. If like probably double chew stuff.
With bombs, I was able to get a 47 absolutely perfect. I feel like double chew can probably get 46.
You know, it's really weird to me that all 3 of these timed mini games end up exactly the same time. Like Dampe and the Running Man and
Yeah.
the obstacle course. Like it's so weird that they all kind of optimize at the same time.
Yeah, and I'm also sad that Dampe isn't on Link's leaderboard.
It should be. What's the double chew stuff? So a bomb chew usually takes like 6 seconds to explode, right? Which is kind of crappy if you're trying to do it as fast as possible. But if you drop 2 bomb chews in super quick succession after each other, like bomb chews have the ability to collide with each other and explode when they do. And so if you drop 2 chews in really quick succession at like a seam like between floor and a wall or just some sharp directional change, then the first bomb chew or the second bomb chew will catch up to the first one right as the first one crosses that angle change on the geometry, and they'll explode on each other. So it's a really cool way to like get bomb chews to explode really fast at the cost of an extra chew. Are bomb chews hookshotable? They can be blown up, but you can't like hookshot to them. But that works in Majora's Mask, doesn't it? You can hookshot a bomb chew and like actually move
You
towards
can
it?
hookshot a real bomb chew, as in like the enemy, but
Okay.
I don't think like actual bomb chews.
I don't know what I'm thinking of because I feel like I remember being able
I-
to hookshot to a bomb
I feel like
chew.
I remember seeing a mod showcase doing that. Maybe you saw that.
Okay, maybe yeah.
So did Top not get hookshot yet?
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I think he went straight to Lake Hylia, which is interesting. I think what he
maybe
might be
time of
going
day?
for. Yeah, I was thinking time of day. I think he's going for the 1.7 times multiplier, 1.75 times multiplier for fishing,
Yeah,
as opposed to the 1.5 for early morning.
Yeah, so right at dawn and dusk, fishing has multipliers for how likely it is that they'll bite in the first place. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it also doesn't hurt, you know, in a realistic sense, to just get fishing out of the way as early as possible so you can reset sooner.
Yeah.
So because I didn't get bomb chews as child, I'm doing just trade quest up to Kajiro for some bombs. So Top is going for this other fish that I don't really know the ranges and the sizes for this fish, but it's not the biggest one in the adult pond, so maybe it's easier to reel in. I don't know if it can go below 60, but I seem to remember it being really close.
I did check this myself. It is still guaranteed to be 60. It's the
Okay.
one other fish that's guaranteed. I was considering going for this fish myself, but I decided the log offered more benefit to helping reel in the fish than the smaller size was gonna help.
Yeah, definitely. Like ideal is insta catch anyway, and the log makes insta
Yeah.
catch like pretty reasonable.
For
There's
the
actually-
comment in chat about hover boots, that only works on 1.0, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I think Tob is on 1.0, right?
Yeah, he is. But you can't RBA hover boots. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just meant about the cheese, but yeah.
Yeah.
Although the hover boots thing's 1.0, but you could also do a different method of casting the rod while moving, which works on any version, with a dive. And I was actually considering doing that for choosing this, but it ended up being more complicated than was worth it.
Is there any way to tell who's in the lead currently? No, it's kind of anybody's game at the moment. It's hard to tell because everybody's kind of doing different stuff. So it really depends on how well all this different Skulltula routing works out. I really wish it was possible to get that Bombchu that ZFG just, or the Skulltula that ZFG just got in Lost Woods with just Hookshot, but it like just barely doesn't work. You can get this
Yeah.
token, but not the spider.
It's so sad.
Everyone is winning. Yeah, perfect. But I got those bombs that ZFG was saying that were slow.
Well, I was thinking of the different bombs, but I guess...
Yeah, you were
well,
probably doing DC.
Yeah. Although, honestly, Kajiro bombs might be kind of slower, but at least in this... Well, I guess it depends on... I guess you did it with... what's it called? Going to Ganon's Castle for night, right? So I
Yeah.
guess that kind of synergizes well with that.
Yeah, you get one
For
free
time of day
Skulltula out of
routing.
that.
Yeah.
Why is Danny B small? I promise you in real life I'm normal size, but my video is small because my benchmark is not the focus of this, it's on the runners.
So I had to do a Chew weird clip here, which is really annoying for the weird clip through the Silver Rock.
Does it not work out as well as with bombs?
Yeah, it's just the timing. You have to like drop the chew, then really quickly pull out hook shot and roll. It's just a tight timing. Although, luckily, I actually had recent practice with it because of randomizer. So, randomizer teaching me some things.
Is that hook pull one frame like double chew?
I don't know if it's one frame, but it's probably not more than two.
Alright, so Tom's the only one who's done a goal so far, which is fishing. I'm about to do the opponent race. So the goal on this one was to get 48 seconds or better. Now, the absolute fastest you can do is 45, and I think Tob might have the only 45 recorded, and it was by one frame, so it's very hard. So we'll see what is the winning time from anybody here.
I suspect that it's going to be a large tie for 46. Just a hunch, but we'll see, I guess.
Right before we started, someone in chat, Flippits, mentioned that this task is kind of like Link's House 100%, which I never thought of it that way before, but it kind of is, and I like that a lot. Except for 100 gold Skulltulas, but otherwise it's
Yeah, why
kinda
wasn't
that.
the goal 100 skulls, Danny?
What's the world record for 100 skulls RTA? Is it like over 2 hours?
I think it's around there. There's like a glitchless variant and a no SRM and an SRM, I'm pretty sure.
Is SRM just how fast can you write the number 100 into your inventory, or like?
No,
I
I
don't
think it's
think so.
I think it's Hundo SRM style, like where you do with the warps
Yeah.
everywhere for each individual
Okay.
skull.
Gotcha. Last task should be all permanent flags. Yeah, dude. Can't wait to force people to run a 9-hour category for OMS 10.
I don't know if I ever considered that the back wall of Lon Lon was also a different exit.
Yeah, they're all different, which can be useful. So I'm heading out towards Lake Hylia here, so I headed towards the one that gave me the best line towards it. I think it's faster than like leaving through, a near fence and then running around in the field.
Yeah, because I went out the left, but I didn't know the back. I didn't think about that also being a fence that opponents should jump over, so I didn't even try it.
Yeah.
I actually love seeing the back fence being used because it's so rare.
So instead of the beam, I did some scarecrow stuff because scarecrow can also be useful for certain Skulltulas. So that is what's going on here.
I feel slightly less bad about getting scarecrows in my route, seeing Danny do it in his benchmark.
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, Scarecrow is probably not a bad idea.
It certainly made things easier. Because you can avoid some hovers or whatever if you're doing routes with Skulltulas that
Yeah,
involve that.
because I mean, I think most people went to like Hylia's child, right? So
Yeah.
it's not that far off.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is I'm already in Lake Hylia anyway. Might as well just make it easier to get into fishing.
All right. Speaking of fishing, you guys want to see how nice and fair I made this in my benchmark? It's super fair. This is what you're all comparing to.
Screw you.
I mean, that was okay, I guess.
How many? How long did you spend reloading to get that good of a fishing?
Not that long, like 2 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's not actually that unlikely. It's just, when you have to do it in a real
When you only
speedrun
have
setting,
one
it
shot at
sucks.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Something that Count just did, save warp twice in Jabu. That might look a little weird. But he wanted to get the sword back on B, and like we mentioned earlier, we don't want to equip the sword. So save warping's the only way to do that.
Yeah, so basically in this game there's a flag that keeps track of whether or not you've ever equipped a sword, essentially, and it comes into play for some glitches, which will be relevant to Count's route. And so, he didn't get the cookery sword as child, and equipping a sword, what that means is not necessarily just having a sword on B, which Count does, but specifically pressing A to manually equip it from your pause menu. And when you go adult, the Master Sword is automatically equipped, so it still counts as if Count has never equipped a sword before for the purposes of this thing.
Yeah, and like the main reason we want the sword back, because if you just like save warp or die once, you get blank B. But we needed the sword back because with blank B, when you go to fishing, like it doesn't actually let you cast the fishing rod.
Mm.
So we needed something on the B button.
Alright, let's see how ZFG's fishing goes. Speaking
Oh,
of that.
man, my favorite.
So my time of day worked out pretty nicely here. I was able to get these Valley Skulltulas and it turned morning, just waiting a couple seconds going into Fortress. Wow, nice fishing.
Easy. Easy.
See, my benchmark was pretty fair after all.
I think this was the only run where I got instant catch fishing.
Nice. Check out Count's screen right now. If you melt King Zora from behind, there's like a brief moment where you can run through his body while it's still like unmelting, which is really useful for routing because otherwise you would need to like scooch him to the side, and there's not really any other way over aside from like hovering. Or I guess there's a weird clip.
There is a weird clip. It's pretty annoying. I was considering doing it at one point in my run, and then I just decided I'm going to Ice Cavern anyway. Just take the easy way out.
Yeah. Seeing some triple slash clip action from RTA to clip through the red ice. Triple slash clip is like, I'm surprised it wasn't, you know, so ubiquitous as it is now earlier on. Because especially because we've known about it as a concept for a long time, especially from OT 3D.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that I thought would be like. It definitely feels like we should have known how to use this a long time ago. One of those things that feel like it should have been known long before it actually was.
And then not only did we like learn that we can use it with first-person items, which made it, you know, pretty useful, but then being able to combine it with hover boots for like extra push on top of that was super cool. And that only got found a few months ago. All right, Count's fishing. I wonder what this fish is thinking when it's staring at you, and it's just like, no, you're not cool enough yet. The ZFG Epona race. Let's see. So my benchmark did 47. Will ZFG beat the 47? And remember, 45.95 is like the best anyone's ever done so far as I know.
Talking to Malin from like 20 meters away. Yeah, I actually specifically tried to figure out like what's the farthest away I can talk to Malin just to reduce wait time.
Talking to people from on horseback is like kind of annoying sometimes.
It's very strange because so the general best way to talk to an NPC on horseback is you want to intentionally make Epona like do a sudden stop and neigh.
Yeah.
And then so what I tried to do there is I went where I was like close to Malin range and then ran straight into the wall to make Epona stop and then like be like right in the target range and I can target Malin and talk.
And I think that just being in target range isn't sufficient sometimes, because I think it was actually in my submitted run, I had problems with the Gerudo archery, because I was targeting them from a distance away, but kept getting off Epona instead of talking.
Yeah, there's something weird with Gerudo archery for that.
Oh, is that specific to just that?
Yeah, I don't know if it's specific to Gerudo archery, but I know the problem you're talking about. I know it's happened to me a lot. Count still fishing.
Count, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dude.
Oh no.
This task sucks.
Still made top 4 even with this, so well done, dude. Alright, so ZFG's race was 46. Let's see what RTA's is. Count, do you know how long you actually spent here?
I thought it was like 2.5 minutes, but this feels like forever.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
At least it ended in insta catch.
Yeah, the one saving grace.
Well, I can promise you that adult fishing will not be in tasks 8, 9, or 10.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm a benevolent god sometimes. 75? Was that the size of your fish count? That's huge.
I didn't even realize.
What about 7? 7's going on right now. Everybody knows about task 7 already. we're a week in. How's Task 7 routing been going? You guys know what you're gonna do?
Roughly.
General idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I still need to look over my route another like 6 times just to make sure I'm not being stupid and like accidentally getting too many upgrades at a certain tier or something. I'm very paranoid I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, this is the task where I have to like keep double checking everything, like make sure absolutely sure that I'm following the rules correctly.
Alright, so I just got ice arrows, so that I could shoot in the archery range. It's interesting, I thought that you needed a quiver, but you don't, apparently. And that was a big reason why I chose to do Kajiro RBA.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering. Yeah, because that did seem a bit much just for bombs.
Yeah.
But that makes sense, yeah.
So you only need a bow. You do not need a quiver to shoot here.
I thought I tested that, but I must have not noticed. I probably could have also skipped RBA.
Oh wow, look at Danny's skillful archery.
So skillful! Look at that!
So skillful to spam save states.
I'm surprised you didn't just make it all on the far target.
Yeah, actually,
just
you know what?
for
Yeah, I'm calling
low
you
tech.
out, Danny. If you have all those save states to use and you didn't just spam the far target.
Oh no!
I
For
expected...
this, I didn't use save states in the game. I like just grinded it until I.
No,
did
yeah,
it that way.
even then.
I wanted to make like the game itself like at least humanly possible. So
It's
I did.
doable. I can do it occasionally. I can get it once in 30 tries.
Oh, RTA getting the insta catch, nice.
Very nice. All right, and here I go with the Running Man. So the reason why I chose 110 for the Running Man is because it is possible to get 110, but difficult if you just use Epona. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't put a hard requirement on, like, you know, some deft hessing this run.
If you can get opponent to jump over that one fence in Hyrule Field.
That's true. Alright, let's see. What does Count get in the opponent race?
Top got a 46, I think.
Yes. So far we got ZFG and Top tied for 46. But we don't know if someone outside the top 4 got a 45 yet. I won't tell you until the end. And then one other trick that you could do here is use timer stops with a cutscene item to make sure that you get... Oh, Count got a 47, nice. To make sure that you get to the Running Man in time.
Yeah, one other thing I considered that I think should work is if you have an egg hatch while you're in the middle of the race. That pauses the timer, right?
Yeah, sure does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I considered using that, but the route just... It was just not feasible because I was already going in for archery and coming out, so it just didn't make sense to go all the way over there and back to choose it.
Would that have fallen under timer shenanigans, Danny, for the rules?
I don't know. Luckily, I don't have to think about it because nobody did it.
I'm still really sad because the first thing I was thinking for it was if you have odd potion run out while you're in the middle of the race, it would teleport you basically right next to the bridge, but he won't let you start the race if you have odd potion timer or odd mushroom timer.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot. He like says some unique text where he's like, you don't seem like you can do this right now or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, you've got something else on your mind or something.
That's so cool.
It's cool, but I'm still really sad that it didn't work.
If there's a more than 20-way tie for the 20 points, I don't know. I'd probably just give 1 point to everybody. Unfortunately, this task was a little bit overwhelming, I think, and we didn't even get 20 participants this time. But we'll hopefully get back up, pump the numbers up for the last few tasks. And that's a good time to mention, you know, if OMS seems fun to you, give it a shot. You got 2 weeks. You can ask for help. You can work with friends. Submit to the leaderboard. You don't have to have done any of the other tasks or all of the other tasks. Anything that seems interesting to you, give it a shot.
Alright, so Count did something cool where he weird shotted into the grotto over here near Good Valley and did QPA to burn the webs for the skull in there.
I didn't actually use the weird clip. I used ledge cancel.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention before the grotto, I guess. But yeah, also good. Yeah, that Skullsole is actually pretty fast considering you get to waste some time a day since a few routes are waiting here at Grota Valley for nighttime later on.
The marathon is the race against the running man across Hyrule Field, Philip. No player really calls it the marathon, but that's the wording I use because that's what it's called on the board in Link's house on the English version.
ZFG doing archery.
Don't pay attention to it yet. Wait like 30 seconds.
Oh, 1400. 1600. No! No! It's so sad.
I was so mad.
It's so sad. Alright. Well, we try again.
Luckily, my rupee route works out that I get 2 attempts at this.
But I think I had seen someone mention, like, you only get 2 attempts, right?
Yeah.
Because of, otherwise you just end
Yeah,
up...
yeah, because after 2 attempts, you activate Ass Chest, and then you can't talk to her again unless you reload the area. And then this attempt sucks because I ended up being super slow.
Just settle for the pots after that.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to go for the pots on after the turn, but I was just so slow there. I just decided just do it.
All right, so we have 1 legit archery completion that was second try. And this is what we know for the 20 points on the archery so far.
Yeah, so what I was talking about earlier with like the B button shenanigans that Count was doing, you might notice now his B button is blank. And so if you never equip a sword, and you just get on Epona, like you always get blank B. And so that'll be useful coming up.
Yes. We will see why I've been saying legit archery this whole time, as opposed to anything else. Oh yeah, Count got that red rupee pot in this room in the fortress. It's pretty useful for guaranteeing yourself an extra shot at archery or something.
Yeah, I think I got, like, every red rupee that I passed possible, just to make sure I had extra money for fishing and everything.
It's a good idea. So my route's pretty interesting because I went really top heavy on finishing the goals, and then I like ended with like 10 extra Skulltulas. Or I think most people did most of their Skulltulas like earlier, and then are doing the goals later. All right, we got ZFG doing Run a Man.
Okay, watch this part. It's cool.
Oh my
I
god!
got the plank S.
Blank S.
Nice
So
zigzag.
good.
Yeah, I'm happy that I managed to get a running man with the Plancast in an actual run.
Pretty fast. It seems like it would save a bunch of time.
Yeah, I think it saves like 4 or 5 seconds.
Alright, we got RTA and Tob both going up to archery, but Tob's having trouble on the stupid slope with Epona.
Now, are there bonus points for beating your benchmark running man time as well?
No. 51 on the running man. Very nice.
I was frames away from 50 also.
What's the best you've had?
With choose 50, with bombs 47.
Nice.
Although 47s with save states, I haven't actually gotten a 47 without save states at all.
Ooh, so look at RTA.
What did RTA do with the bottle after getting off Epona? Or was that how they got off Epona?
Yeah, I think that was how. At cutscene,
Oh,
to do
okay.
it.
Oh, yeah, right. Because I used Ocarina, but I guess none of these people have Ocarina.
Yeah, so when you have a blank B on Epona, you can use a cutscene item to just, like, fall off the horse. And you can do that in the game, in the archery game, to just, you know, spam arrows at a target while you're standing still. Oh, yeah, ZFG finished. I forgot. ZFG's in first place. And the final time for ZFG was a 58:25. Well done, dude.
Thanks.
GG.
GG's.
I'm going to resolve the prediction right now because otherwise I'll forget.
1 G for each archery attempt. Someone ban that guy. Oh wait, I'm a mod.
Got him.
These. RTA went for Plankess. Didn't quite get it, but
Oh, Tob in archery.
Tob in archery, let's see.
And not using...
Oh, it's 60.
Oh, we got a 60. Also a second try. Will nobody get the first try archery?
Okay, I'm actually kind of mad because I had a run that did get first try archery, but it was like 30 seconds slower than my overall PB. And I'm mad that there's a possibility that I would have been better off submitting that run.
The mind games.
Come on, Top, third try.
Oh, deciding not to go for that one. We're just gonna do all pots on the way back, I guess. RTA coming in with a sub-minute on the marathon. And I think that's all RTA needs to do. Get a sick little mega flip into Link's house, too.
And Tob finishing archery.
Okay, now the bonus points was for the fastest legit archery, right?
It was for fastest legit
So
archery.
I think mine was a bit faster than Tob's.
And RTA coming in second place with a 1 hour and 47 second time.
And these legit archeries are impressive, but I think it'd be more impressive if you did archery without actually being able to see the target you were shooting.
True. I got a couple things I wanna show afterwards. Oh, what? What is that?
Nice.
Yeah, what was that?
Forgot about that. You can set up hookshot jump while swordless there.
Oh, we lost him. No! Did I mess up? I must have chose the wrong person to put here. Oh, that stinks. We lost the last minute of Tob's run. I apologize. That is my bad. We will finish watching Count because it's almost over, and Count and Tob finished very close. Very close to each other. Dang, it's the first time I messed up the layout. Ugh, I'm sad. Start over, yeah. There's no way to, like, scrub individual videos in OBS like this, I think. Otherwise, I would try to fix it. might as well just... no, I'll leave it up for now. Alright, we got Count doing the Running Man. Plankas? Ooh, Plankas, very nice. I get to watch a nice little escape from what I think is RTA's video again. In case you missed the beginning, this is what it looks like when you escape the forest. The last thing that I have to do here is just get a couple skulls, which I'm going to get from Tree. We have a very close race to tie ZFG's 51, but Count ends up with a 52.
Just barely.
Just barely, by a couple frames. Oh, and I'm entering with Mustache Clip here into the deck tree. The top finish, I will say after Count's finished which one of them came in 3rd and 4th place, which is right now. So Count came in 4th place with a 104.20, and Todd came in 3rd place with a 103.41. And again, my apologies for messing up the video at the very end there, so we missed the last minute or so of Todd's run. But yeah, that is the top 4. And the only thing you will see on my benchmark screen, if we were to watch it, is just getting like an extra 1 or 2 skulls in Decatry and then going to Link's house. So we're pretty much done in that regard. Cool. So while my benchmark finishes playing out, and the time for the benchmark, by the way, was a 106.10. So anybody who beat a 106.10 will get extra points on the leaderboard, a share of 50 extra points. And the people who did that are exactly the people who were on the layout right here. We had the top 4, once again, are the only people who beat the benchmark, so they will each get a share of 50 points, which I think turns out to be 12. So well done. Yeah, and GG everybody for getting through fishing, for getting through archery. I know this was a tough one. Commentators, what else do you want to say before I switch over to the leaderboard page and reveal the full page? Oh, and also the winners of the points, the extra points.
It was fun to route.
Fun to route. Not so much fun to play. I definitely agree that this was probably one of the weaker ones in terms of like enjoyment, but it was a cool routing challenge.
I think it's worth it for the concept.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking too. Is that like the concept of the goal was very strong, which is why I decided to do it.
And this one was also top tier for name.
Interior.
Oh yeah,
engineering.
name is also fantastic.
Thank you. All right, cool. I'm gonna switch over to the leaderboard tab and show off who got the extra points. So commentators, thank you for joining me this week, and good luck on your runs at Task 7.
Thanks.
All right. Cool. So here we are on the leaderboard page, and I am going to make a little change in the back end here. Hopefully I didn't forget something. Last couple times I've had tech issues on this, but I'm going to publish the Task 6 leaderboard right now. And okay, here we go. So the overall leaderboard now looks like this. No movement in the top 3, but RTA moving up for the first time into the top 5 from 6th place, moving up 2 places, and going straight to 4th with a very, very strong 2nd place finish. which is his highest placement so far. Very nice job, RTA. You are in the top 5. You are in the money right now if you can keep it until the end. So Top and ZFG are extremely close to each other. ZFG only 13 points behind that second place spot right now. So one more week of beating Tub will switch their places. Count still enjoying a very hefty lead here, almost 200 points ahead of the second place finishers. Those first 4 wins in a row were super strong. That's not including Task 6? Oh, wait, didn't update? Let me look. Why didn't it update? Oh, I need to do one more thing. My bad. Sorry. I will do one more thing. I'm just talking about the results that were already there. Okay, there's one more thing that I need to do, and it's this. Here we go. Now, here we go. This is better. Okay, this is the way it actually looks. ZFG has actually moved up to second place. Ignore everything I just said. Put it out of your mind. I didn't say a word. ZFG is now in second place by 37 points, with a strong first place finish this week. RTA holding at 4th place. Count holding at 1st. And Fanta holding at 5th. A lot of movement down below. A lot of people moved up this week, which was pretty cool. We had Sly moving up 5 points, which is the biggest movement, I think, overall. And here we will now see the winners of the sub-goals. Interior Recordator, ZFG coming in first place with... oh, the extra points aren't showing. I'll figure out what is the problem here, but I will tell you that the extra points are being awarded to ZFG and Tub, splitting the 46-second time on the Epona race. So each of them get 10 extra points, splitting the 20. And ZFG getting first place in the Running Man, getting 20 extra points. So ZFG getting 30 extra points here. And then Archery, we had one singular person attempt legit archery and get it first try. And it was not in the top 4. And that honor goes to Triforce 3250. And we can watch Triforce getting a first try legit archery and being the proud owner of 20 extra points. Pot strats on the way back. Super safe, super perfect. Well done, dude. Very well done. 132 tries in blind race? Oh my goodness. You actually did 132 tries and didn't quit? That is impressive in its own right. Very nice. Yeah, those are the winners of the extra points. And those extra points will be showing on the leaderboard in a little bit. I think maybe just a site update didn't get pushed when I thought it did, so it may just need some time to propagate before that gets shown. So anyway, that is it. Well done, friends. So task 7, we are 1 week in out of 2. It is going to end in 1 week and 11 hours from now at midnight between Sunday and Monday next week. I also, for anyone who's been participating or anyone else who has an opinion on this, I want to point out that Task 10 is going to be coming out right around the same time as Tears of the Kingdom is coming out, which I know may be a little bit of an interruption. So I'm wondering if people have opinions on whether or not we should delay Task 10, just extend it to be longer than 2 weeks so people get to play the new game. If you have an opinion on that, please post in the OMS Discord. If you don't have an opinion on that, but you want to see OMS stuff as it happens, and you want to get tags for OMS stuff like these results streams, you can join my Discord, which I will post in the chat right now. There's a whole OMS set of channels. That is not how you spell Discord. I typed iDiscord for some reason. Yeah, so that's that. If you want to learn more about OMS in general or see the result streams on YouTube, you can click the links in this chat command. I've got a playlist on YouTube with everything related to OMS, including the benchmarks and these result streams. And also, of course, the website where you can find the full leaderboard. Task 10 is to do a Tears of the Kingdom any percent run. Yeah, exactly. You got me. But yeah, that'll do it for my stream today. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you had fun. Every task has been under an hour at the top level so far. We'll see if that continues going into these final few tasks. They're gonna get pretty involved. Oh, and I guess real quick before I go, I'll just give you guys a look at what Task 7 is for those of you who may not have seen it. This is what the runners are working on right now. It is a puzzle. So there's these six different things that you can upgrade in the game: Deco sticks, nuts, bombs, arrows, seeds, and rupees. You can upgrade how many of them you can carry, and each of them has 3 tiers. And your goal is to get 2 of these 6 things in tier 1, 2 of them in tier 2, 2 of them in tier 3, fill them all up to maximum, and then for 1 of the 2 in each tier, overfill it beyond maximum. So it is a puzzle that involves some serious glitching of your inventory, and we'll see what people do. We'll find out what the results are in 2 weeks. How often do I hold them? This is a season of tasks. There are 10 of them, and they go on every 2 weeks. So these results streams happen every other Sunday, right at noon Eastern time. And how often do I hold the whole thing? Probably just once. We'll see if I have the drive and ambition and creativity to do this whole thing a second time, but treasure it because it may be the only time I do this shit. All right. Thanks everybody for watching and for hanging out. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And let me give somebody a raid. Let's see who is online. Oh, looks like we got Ama, who's 3 hours deep into a hundo run. Going out with him. Did that work? It did not work. Hold on. Twitch chat sucks. Not you guys. The chat application. Oh? My whole computer is exploding? Okay, now we're good. Now the raid is going. Alright, see you guys later.